Okay, this will be an interesting one, a bit challenging, perhaps. I can hear the cicadas, folks. Let's see how we go with this. I don't know why I did that then. I don't normally do it at this. Okay, let's see what we have. We have here a necklace of glass beads. Really pretty, really nice. And that's the love heart and the arrow. That's meant to be the clasp. Interesting concept. Wondering if we're going to make that clasp a feature in this piece. Or whether we're not. So I'm just going to put it in the A6 area. This is a real challenge, this type of piece. But basically I'm trying to get my videos on free-to-air time, prime time news. And it's not an easy thing on television. It's not an easy thing to do when you consider the COVID-19 is really off the chain, and you can't, and yeah, it's just everything's about the coronavirus or the COVID-19 as its technical term is called. Let's see how we go with this. Anyway, that looks really quite nice, actually. Wondering where the centre of our job is going to be. Does look interesting. Wondering where it's going to be the centre. That's a good question. Maybe we could move it. But basically I'm really lonely without my partner Luigi, and this COVID-19 stuff that's happening in the world, as well as even worse in some parts of the world, like England are having a real big problem. Their hospitals are running out of space for the patients that are getting sick with this disease. So it's really a lot of bad news globally with what's happening, and it's really sad to see this, that our world is falling prey to this dreadful disease, and there just doesn't seem to be a solution except to we're getting vaccinated around the world in places like England and America, and these two countries are really having a tough time trying to bring down the numbers of deaths and people being hospitalised. They're running out of space in their hospitals, especially in the UK. It's not looking too good. And here in New South Wales, wearing of face masks has become compulsory a week ago. So things are not looking too good. Brisbane had a problem with some overseas people who had the English strain of the virus, the real fast spreading version. I think they were in quarantine. Don't ask me, I'm not an expert. You know, this is not my area of expertise. I just like to keep in touch with some of the shit that's going down. I like to try to make my video work relevant to the times, but I don't want this to become a COVID fucking post because we've got to try and be positive somehow. We've got to somehow try and rise above this. Try to make a use of your talents and your attributes. Try to use your talent, you know, to give the world something to hope, to give the world something. You know, you got to fucking do something that you're good at and try and rise above whatever's happening in the world that's not looking too flash. I'm trying to get this into a nice position. But basically, it's been really difficult with COVID-19 taking up the time, and I know this video is probably not going to be relevant by the time it hits the airwaves. It won't be. I'm sure it won't be, because this stuff, and hopefully the COVID-19, by the time this stuff goes to air, will be under control, and that most people would have by then been vaccinated. So if people can be vaccinated, and we're going to pull it up. This is not what I want. I don't want that. So yeah, we have to fucking try our best to not let this dreadful pandemic get the better of us as a human race. And you just have to fucking do what you're good at, and try to make a presentation that can be used to inspire people, however bad the times are, however much we are having problems in this world. We've got to somehow rise above the problems and try to make use of our talents, our gifts, even if it doesn't pull a profit. What I'm doing is costing me thousands of dollars, probably tens of thousands that I haven't got. I'm just living on the edge. Over the years it would have racked up that amount, over the years, but I can only just barely afford it. It's really difficult trying to make this stuff useful. I'm actually wondering if that's going to be the centre of the job. So it's really a difficult thing trying to get my stuff to go to air, especially where there's little room, and I'm trying to get in touch with a loved one incidentally, so I'm framing what I'm doing as a love story. I'm trying to get the attention of the TV channels to play this as a love story between me and Luigi. Luigi's his name, for your information. And it's really challenging when COVID is just making headlines, smashing headlines all over the place. It's smashing headlines. No, like, you thought you knew it all. You thought you heard it all. And then another fucking bombshell, which is a really a phrase. The word bombshell is normally used for related to celebrities and what goes on between celebrities, but bombshell seems to sound really good with COVID-19, and this is probably the second time I use the word bombshell in my videos. I don't normally like that word. As I said, it's usually associated with celebrities and what they get up to. It's not normally something I like to use. It's a real tabloid magazine kind of a word, bombshell. But this is a bombshell of the truest. Anyway, let's see how this looks. Just nudged that one out of place just a little. Try and straighten it. Anyway, I don't know if I like it. I don't like the way the beads are not touching the edge. But apart from that, I think it's quite nice. I think now we can call this demo quits.